So, you want to know what it's like to be a max fighter vocation with an endgame build, a vocation that allows you to block, parry, and reduce fall damage, which is a huge advantage by the way. I don't know if you're aware of this, but falling anywhere, especially in real life, is painful. So you can see why this build could potentially be your new best friend, and this vocation might be your favorite one coming up. Fighters excel at defense. This makes them a great choice for players who prefer a tanky playstyle. While not the strongest attackers, fighters can dish out respectable damage, especially with well-timed counters and defensive skills. Fighters have a good balance of offensive and defensive capabilities. They can adapt to various situations and support their party with defensive buffs and tactics. We will dive more into team synergy later in the video, but we also have to mention the weaknesses. Fighters are strictly melee combatants. They lack range attacks and magic, so dealing with flying enemies or staying safe at a distance can be challenging. Blocking and dodging consume stamina as well. New players might need to learn how to manage their stamina effectively to avoid getting caught vulnerably. Fighters rely heavily on positioning to block and counter attacks effectively. Mastering spatial awareness is crucial for success, and for those who don't know what spatial means, that just means looking around you and making sure that your back is not against the wall and you'll be able to move freely. The core gameplay of sword and shield combat is just easy to grasp, making the fighter vocation a good choice for new players wanting to try this out. Now, without further ado, let's break down this build. Alright guys, let's talk about our team. We have to talk about the team first because our build is nothing without our team. So we have to talk about the right pawns to use for our team to support our build well. Alright, so let me go ahead and start off with the thief vocation. The thief, it's got a cutting wind and implicate. Implicate is the best skill for us personally because we are incapable of long distance fights, or like I said, birds in the air where we can barely reach. We do have a skill to reach them, but sometimes we need the help of a thief to pull them in with the rope and to pull them down to the ground to finish them off, right? So that is an important skill that we need. Also, it's ultimate skill, formless Fiant. I hope I said the right Fiant. So hopefully that will help additional with the damage that we are doing, but the main build and skill is the implicate, right? So what's next we need is the sorcerer. Okay, with the sorcerer we are allowed to have maelstrom and meteoron. All right, these two skills alone will set the bar when it comes to fights and when we need help, especially when we're getting swarmed by a whole bunch of minions or like small little goblins or a big griffin where we just need extra wind damage to take them down and knock them off balance, right? So these two skills alone are good. The other two skills don't really matter too much, so it can be whatever. Augmental flare is okay, I guess that's okay to have, but I think those three skills will be fine. The electric skill or lightning skill it could be either or. It could be fire or ice. It doesn't really matter there, right? So those are the main skills that we need for that vocation to have on our team. Okay, as you guys can see in these examples, I am breaking down exactly what they look like so you guys can get an understanding of how powerful these skills are and why they are must have in the team, right? Last but not least is our healer. Okay, our healer has to have high halidom, high halidom and celestial peon, right? So they need these two skills alone to help you get through times where you have like status on you, like if you're poisoned or anything like that. These it will negate all debilitation skills or like effects on you, right? So that is a must have. And then celestial peon is like useful so it can give you unlimited stamina. Now the other skills don't really matter too much. The high 11 doesn't really matter too much. Like I said, you can either use fire or ice. It doesn't either matter, but ice affinity is a must because we get to have ice shield and ice sword. It just makes a lot of easier, makes everything easier because most of the creatures need ice, right, as their weakness. So That's what we would use. And if you guys, you can use fire affinity, but I highly recommend using ice because ice just goes a long way. And sometimes it can even stagger big enemies, especially when you use high figure. If you guys don't know what that is, try out a mage build and you should be able to know what that is. All right, guys, now we're breaking down our build, but first we got to talk about our skills first. All right, but I wanted to show you guys that I'm a maxed fighter vocation because I wanted to prove everybody that I am doing this correctly, right? So we got the cloud sword slash gutting skewer and shield pummel and riotous fury. These are the best skills that I believe is for the fighter. Okay, now you guys can test out the different skills you want, but personally I say these are the best skills for every situation. Okay, let's go ahead and break down why. The cloud war slash is for when we're trying to slash birds or anything higher than our reach, right? So we want to use this skill to jump up and slash them, right? Shield pummel is so useful for staggering many I said animals, many many creatures, and also just getting that shield up and just jabbing them up so they can push them back a little bit, right? It will stagger them a lot. So that's like our number one skill for staggering and finishing off, right? Riotous Fury is just crazy. It's an ultimate that just goes ham with slashes left and right. Okay. And then we got gutting skewer just to like stab them with, like just to get those vital points as long as we can. Now this is in sync with our mage when I'm talking about celestial peon, right? It gives us that extra stamina. Now I wanted to show you guys exactly where I got the riotous fury from, the ultimate skill. For those who are wondering, you need to go to Melv and talk to the fighter master. You know, that person that sits, that character that sits at the table and then talks to you about the different vocations when you get to Melv. Yeah, that's the person you need to get favor from. So you need to go back daily just to see what type of task he got, or try to give him something to persuade him to teach you this skill. All right. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about our core, okay? Our true deflect. True deflect is a parry timing moment, okay? I don't know if you guys play like Ghost of Tsushima or any game that requires parrying perfectly, but when you parry perfectly, you do like a special move, and then you like block them like perfectly, and then you'll do like a quick move or something. It's just something that does extra damage and helps you in the long run, right? Tusk toes is like when you're holding square and then you're flinging them up in the air. It's just like a heavy attack pretty much. Steel foundation though is our best friend when it comes to fall damage. Like I said, mentioned earlier in the video, fall damage is so important. So that is a must use for a core skill. Then we got the enhancement counter, which is perfect for like when we get that ice affinity. Like I talked before, our shield is ice and our sword is ice, so then when they're attacking us and we're holding block, they're getting frozen, right? So that is so useful. All right, so let's go ahead and break down our augments. All right, we're going to break down our augments. We have 6 and we're going to break them down. Okay, metal increases our physical defense. Okay, why do we have physical defense? Because we're a physical attacker, so we need physical defense because we're close range. Okay, then we're going to go ahead and talk about provocation. Why do we need provocation? Provocation increases the likelihood of the target targeting you instead of your pawns, which, especially when you have a sorcerer and mage, you don't really want them to get tagged while they're trying to do their bigger spells. So this allows them, the targets, to focus you instead of them, right? So that's very key. Endurance is a must have because we need maximum stamina. I already explained how much stamina we use per attack and blocking, so we definitely need maximum stamina. Lethality, okay? Lethality is when we're striking targets' vital points. Remember what we are talking about, gutting skewer. What are we doing? We are stabbing their vital points, or trying to go for their vital points, and we're stabbing it as much as we can. That goes along with our mages celestial peon, right? Because it allows us to have unlimited stamina. Then we're going to go ahead and talk about escalation, right? Escalation, stamina recovery speed. Okay, this gives us stamina recovery speed, so obviously we have to have maximum stamina and increased stamina recovery, right, to all fit that together. Then we're gonna go with feel, right? Steel, what that does is give us additional weight reduction so we can be lighter on our feet. But realistically, we don't really need that. Now that we have unlocked Dominion, we're going to probably use Dominion because it allows us to extend our pin down and lift up a little bit longer so we can finish off blows and finish off enemies faster, right? So that is about it. Now we're going to go ahead and get into the equipment because everybody needs to know what to use in order to maximize this build. All right guys, so I'm going to break down our equipment. We're going to go ahead and start off by each piece. All right, so we're going to talk about the sword, which is DragonsDogma. Sounds funny, right? It might be the main sword of the game because it got the name of the game in the sword, right? So we're going to go ahead and talk about our shield, Dragon's Aegis, and then we're going to talk about our helm, Subjutor's Salient, and then we're going to talk about our chest, which is Knightly Brigandine, and then we're going to talk about our legs, which is Conqueror's Sabatons, right? Then we're going to go ahead and talk about our cape, which is Imperial Cape. Then we're going to talk about our rings. Now the rings are up to you what you really want to decide, but I went with the Ring of Triumph and the Ring of Skullduggery, right? Skullduggery. So I hope you guys enjoyed this breakdown of the equipment, and I hope you guys enjoyed the breakdown of this overall max build for this vocation. Let me know in the comments below what your thoughts are, what your equipment is, what have you been running the fighter vocation, and what skills and combinations have you used with your pawn team synergy. Let me know in the comments below and we'll get into the next part. All right, so in order to find all these pieces, well, number one is you got to have Wyram crystals. These are end game crystal currencies that will allow you to upgrade end game builds and also buy end game builds. So this is the location of where the vendor is. Some of you guys that are veterans already know what that is, who that is. Obviously, some of us know it's the Dragonforge, but you know, this vendor allows you to have end game items, end game gear sets, end game buffs, and he upgrades your vocation. Yeah, he's an end game vendor. So you want to go ahead and farm Wyram crystals. How do you farm Wyram crystals? Well, you got to defeat drakes, the dragons in the game. Yeah, as you can see, this build will guarantee a kill with these dragons because I'm doing it myself with ease. All right, guys, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe if you're new to the channel. Also, I will be doing live streams on Sunday, Wednesday, and Thursday on Twitch. On Sunday and Wednesday it will be on YouTube. Okay, so make sure you guys check out my streams if you guys are interested, from 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. All right, I'm a night streamer, so that's what it is. All right, so I'm gonna get back into this game, guys. I hope you guys enjoy the vocation. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about the build. Also, have you tried the fighter build and do you like the fighter vocation? Let me know in the comments below. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Ooh, I can't wait to level this bad boy up.